All right. I'm back, motherfuckers. I'm back. I'm back. Welcome to anyone who may be listening. Welcome to the Unspoken Mind podcast, episode number 1. I am your host, Isaias Hernandez, and to be honest, man, I'm just here to give you guys a good time. I'm here to give you guys a good time. A good time. I'm here to rock out, chill out, and vibe with y'all. That's what I'm here to do, man. Now I want to restart where I was previously, because if you've been keeping up with this, you know that I have done a number of these podcasts. I've done a couple of these podcasts and they haven't really turned out the way that I wanted them to turn out. Now, podcasting is something I feel like I have a gift in. You know why that is? You know why I feel like podcast is a gold mine that's sitting under me and I'm just waiting to break out? Because it's communication, it's talking, it's being vocal about the shit that you care about. Excuse me. And we're in a day and age where I can freely express myself with this podcast. What a beautiful time. What a beautiful time that I was born in, that I have the luxury to just do this. Just sit down, grab a microphone, and talk. I want to bring this podcasting energy, I want to bring it back to my original podcasting roots. What do I mean when I say that? What am I talking about? Back, my very first podcast that I did, it was called the Case Study Podcast, right? It was called the Case Study Podcast, and the process in which I got it together is that I had to actually set it up and do it, you know? I had to set it up. I had to move shit around my room in order to fucking have it all, you know, picture perfect. I cared about the image of the podcast, and right here, I am doing the same thing. I'm caring about the image of my podcast. You are supposed to enjoy the process of whatever the fuck you choose to do in your life. That is the goal. That is the main goal of that I should take a sin. Yes, I am. Every day I spend my time drinking wine, feeling fine. Sorry, I love this song. But what I was talking about, podcasting roots. So, what the hell do I mean when I say enjoy the process? I absolutely love setting up this fucking podcast. It's like the funniest shit in the world to me. I take the camera angles and I check the lighting and I move shit around. I put shit out in front of me in order to fucking have this picture perfect image of what I want to do. Up there, look at that. That's Black Star. Behind me, I'll talk about what's behind me in a little bit, but that's just a projection of myself. You know, this is who I am. I am a huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars, and The Mandalorian is a show that's really brought back the feeling of Star Wars when I watched it as a little kid. And I'll talk about The Mandalorian a little bit later. I haven't got caught up. I only watched the first episode, and I feel like this is something I would talk about on my podcast, you know, watching The Mandalorian. What else do I gotta say? We are in a day and age where morals are lost. Look at me trying to tackle the fucking topics of the universe. I feel like my purpose in life is not just to benefit me. I feel like I am here put on this planet for the person that comes after me and the person that comes after that. My kids and my grandkids, you know. I'm thinking about these types of things at 19 years old. Why am I thinking of these things at such a young age? Well, I could trace it back to a couple of issues. Schizophrenia is something that I have. Uh, I was in a mental hospital for about a little bit more than over 3 weeks. It was a behavioral health facility, and what they ended up diagnosing with that was wrong with me is that I have schizophrenia. Among they said it was schizoaffective disorder. What that means is that it's schizophrenia and bipolar mixed together, along with another very common now mental health disorder, which depression. So I had a couple of things wrong with my head, and it really skewed it skews, because I'm still dealing with these things. It skews my image of actual life and of real life. And behind me is actually something that I got into before I went into the hospital and was diagnosed with these things. This is a projection of my thoughts. Now what this is it's song lyrics from a couple of songs that I've listened to, and while I'm listening to them, I pull the quotes that I feel like are most important from the song, or that stand out to me or whatever. So I take these quotes and I just write them up there, and I kind of try to make it discombobulated, and I kind of fuck them up on purpose. And I feel like that's an accurate projection of my thoughts. This right here. It's worrisome, yes, but I'd like to think that everyone has a little bit of screws loose within their head. It's not something that I want to dwell on too much or really spend a lot of time thinking about. Yes, I have these mental disorders, but I want to do things with my life. I don't want to get caught up in I don't want these mental disorders to define me. You know what I mean? I don't want someone, when they see me walk into a room, I don't want them to, the first thing that they think is, oh, this kid is sick. Because what kind of life would you be living if everyone's sitting there telling you you're sick? You're going to eventually start to believe that thing, that what's wrong with you dominates you. It dominates your mental, and it dominates your fucking way of living. And I right now am at a point where I want to fight back. I haven't been fighting back for a while, but now, the gloves are on. And I'm trying to sit here and I'm trying to dip and dodge, I'm sick of this fucking, this bullshit. That's why I call it bullshit. Because it's all in my mind. It's a gift and a curse. It's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? I want to order podcasting equipment, right? I want to order podcasting equipment, and I want to actually sit down with people and pick apart their brains. I think I'm going to start with family, which is another thing I really want to talk about. Family. Where we live in a society that doesn't really emphasize the idea of family value. We're in a society that glorifies independence. When independence, you can't make it nowhere by yourself. You need people, whether it be people from society itself or the people that are behind you, pushing you and giving you support. No one is strong enough to conquer the world by themselves. Not only do you have people who not only do you have the armies to conquer the world, there's a leader. And that's where I'm trying to be. I want to be a leader. I want to be a voice to this voiceless generation. Joey Badass. I want to be a voice to this voiceless generation. I want to be a speaker of the people. I want to take current events and I want to expand these current events into everyday life that we live. Because the everyday life that we live, we're so entrenched in work. We tend to think that our careers define us. That goes for lawyers and doctors and people who work at Wendy's too. Like, We allow our professions to define us when that's not true at all. We need to find people who not only support our ideas, but give them life. Breathe them into existence. I would not have started doing this if it wasn't for my support system. This is art. I plan on selling this one day. I plan on grabbing canvases and doing this. Selling this. I know people would buy that. Because it's dope as fuck. It's an extension of myself. It's an extension of who I am. That doesn't define me though. Just because I like doing it doesn't mean, I will entrench my life in that. No. My purpose, I feel like, is bigger. I've talked about it before. I want to become a lawyer one day. And I want to defend those who need to be defended. That's what a leader does, right? A leader defends those who need defending. And I want to do that. I've been told that my dreams are too big. I've been told to dream smaller. I've been told to stay complicit and stay in my box. Stay in the box that people have crafted for me. I didn't craft that box. It was crafted for me. And people are telling me to get inside that box and stay in that box. But guess what? No, I won't. I have things to do. I imagine myself one day speaking in front of hundreds of thousands of people. This is coming from a kid who in high school and in college avoided everyone. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to be socialized with people. And a lot of that does have to go in not only in part of trust issues, mental health as well. I say the reason why family is so complicated, and I know I'm going off a whole bunch of different tangents here, but family is so complicated because so many of us have trust issues because the ones that love us the most have hurt us. That in turn causes us to be a little bit jaded with the outside world. We look at it with a side eye, and we question everything just because we don't want to be hurt, But ironically enough, isolation leads to more hurt because at the end of the day, you push everyone away and then you have no one. So then you're stuck alone with your thoughts. That's me currently right now. I'm stuck alone with my thoughts. And I want to podcast with people, I want to sit people down. I want to start with my family first and foremost. Once I start getting that podcast equipment, I want to start with my family. I want to sit them down and I want to talk to them and enjoy a conversation with them. Not just, I want to pick apart your biases and your beliefs. I want to know where these beliefs stem from. I want to take these beliefs and maybe offer advice from me to you. And I want you guys to offer advice to me too. That's why I'm doing this at the end of the day. I'm doing this to connect with an audience that I once had before. I look back at my podcast, and the reason why I stopped it is because metaphorically it was taken away from me. And one day I hope I have enough courage to share that story, but it was taken away from me, and I had to make it seem like as if, I intended to end the podcast. I never intended to end the podcast. I loved what I did. And I love what I'm doing here. I love speaking. I love finding meaning in shit that has no meaning to it. I look at TV and just scroll through your phone, and it's just distractions to the actual real world. We're not exposed to it enough. The ironic thing about technology and its effect on the world today is that it's made us more connected than ever before with the entire world, but we're not exposed to it at all. That causes us to not know what the real world is like. I'm speaking for a young millennial or a young Gen Z, whatever the fuck you want to call it, who grew up on technology. Technology was my vice, and it still is. Technology is something that gives the illusion of the real world, but it's not the real world. A couple of the things that I started to do is in order to combat my disorders, I started to find meaning in the things that I love again. One of the things that I started doing again is I started writing again. I've always been a good writer. I've always been told that I've been a good writer. Even in college, professors and stuff would come up to me and say that I was very gifted with writing. And writing, once again, is an extension of myself. Writing. These are song lyrics from a song that I took, and I plan on taking requests, and I plan on feeding my art, leaving my stamp with people, both in writing, through this, and so much more. I am using these social medias and these tools that are free to us. I'm using them I'm using them to connect to y'all and to leave my mark, because I feel like we only have so much time on this planet. I want to leave my mark on the world, and I'm beginning to carry myself like that. I'm not fucking around anymore. I'm doing this shit that I love. Reading is another thing that I really started getting into again. Reading. Sitting down, taking 30 minutes out of a day and just looking at a book. Reading the pages of the word. The beautiful thing about reading is that it's for you to interpret. I love it so much because me and you could sit down and we could read the same book verbatim, word for word, in my perception of the main character, and my perception of the setting, and my perception of what happened, the events of the book. It's all in my mind. It's my imagination. It's what I interpret it to be. Mine and yours would be completely different, because it's up to the mind. The mind is a beautiful thing. The mind is a powerful thing. It's the most powerful computer in the world, in your mind. That's both a gift and a curse. It's a curse because when we entrench ourselves in technology and we divulge so much time to technology, watching Netflix or being on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or social media, is playing a stupid little fucking video game on your phone. Our mind loves that because it's stimulation for it. It's our mind working. That's why when you put the phone down, you need something to do. Because we're in a day and age where the mind is being overstimulated. We're not supposed to take in so much fucking information from the outside world. I've said this before on my podcast too. We're not supposed to take in so much fucking information. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're in a day and age where we gotta wake up, man. We gotta act, and we gotta act fast. We exist in a day and age where morals and integrity don't exist. Why do morals and integrity don't exist? Because we sacrifice it for clout. An example that I would give of this is Lil Pump fucking endorsing Donald Trump. You have no idea of what you're talking about. It's so evident that you have no idea what you're talking about. Yet you endorse a man who has exhibited disrespect for 4 years of his presidency. He's the man on top, dog. This man is supposed to be the leader of a country, of our country, and he's exhibited disrespect time and time again. We need a leader. Why do you think he's not defending the fact, or why he's not submitting the fact that he lost? Because he can't accept it. His ego doesn't allow him to accept the fact that he lost. I've talked about this before too, but I need to reiterate it because it's so important, because it's still a fucking story in the news. Recounting and you lost, dog. Just admit it. Just accept the fact that you lost. There was no fraud. There is no fucking secret thing. This is real life. You lost. Take it on your chin. Take it on your chin. The art of communication is slowly disappearing. And it's our job as people to rekindle it. And maybe it's not disappearing. Maybe it's just what I've been exposed to, but you know what I mean? We all go through shit. We all go through shit. I just want to provide and that's part of the reason why I'm doing this again, and doing it for the 10th time again, making this podcast, is that I want to provide a voice to people who need a voice. For the people who feel like they're alone, or for the people who feel like they're crazy. Hey, I'm crazy too, and I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to pick apart your brain and fucking know why we are in this. Why are we here? In 5 years, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself being in the same spot that you're in right now? For so long, I haven't thought of the future. I don't know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, how would I achieve the goals that I set for myself. And I have finally started once again to obtain those goals again. I have started walking in the direction of my goals once again. I want to be the best real estate agent that New Jersey has ever fucking seen. I want to be a podcaster and the voice of reason to a world that seems like it has no reason. Or, matter of fact, not the world, this fucking country. This country loves distracting its people. It absolutely adores it. Why do you think Corona is still a big thing? Because we didn't take the proper precautions to fucking get rid of it. The rest of the world has figured it out, and the US is still stuck fucking in the same spot that it's been over and over, and it does that on purpose. The fact that a month later the recounting of the votes is still a story, it's still front page fucking news. That's not a coincidence. Bigger things are at play here. They updated the fucking Instagram app to now that when you click on it, one of the first things that you see, one of the first things that is the main attraction is buying stuff. They want to keep you distracted, keep buying shit from us. Not only are we putting more money in their pockets, we're not doing anything to in return. And that's not me saying if you see something you like, don't get it. I'm saying be smarter. Understand what's happening, what's at play here. They have minimalized the influencer. The person who is engineered to take people and provide a voice for them. They have minimalized that and have glorified the idea of stupidity and ignorance. We have had a president for 4 years in office who exhibited disrespect. it has come in tune with the rest of the fucking people who think alike like that. People who are not open to dialogue and conversation. They're open to maybe say, hey, maybe the way you think is wrong. Because people don't like to be wrong. As humans, we're so married to ineffectiveness. It's not even funny. We love doing the shit that doesn't work. Not right now. I'm podcasting. Oh, hold up. Give me 10 minutes. One of the things... I'm happy. I can say that. I'm happy. And I want to help people. This is my way of helping people. I want to be a Gary V type person. I want to be someone who people come up to and say, hey, I listened to your podcast, man, and you really helped me the fuck out. I want to provide a shoulder to people who need it. I know it's kind of contradictory to what I'm saying, that technology is killing our human connection, but I'm using technology in order to project myself onto others. What I'm saying is we need more people like me. Shout out to the Joe Budden podcast, because they're the ones who really inspired me to do this, you know? To use my voice. And I know my voice is my gift. That's not me being arrogant. Don't take that as me being arrogant. That's me knowing what the fuck works for me. You need to find out what the fuck works for you. And do it. Because if you don't take care of yourself and you get caught up in the trap once again of with distractions and work, and I'm putting work in that fucking category because a lot of people don't like the job that they currently do, but they do it anyway because they need to put food and table. They need to put food on the table. They need to put bread on the table, and they need to provide for their families. To those people, I salute 1000%. To the people who don't have a choice other than to work, I salute you. But then I ask myself, how much time do you have for yourself taking care of so many other people? What the hell, creatively, what the hell works for you, man? This is an art. Communication with people is an art. And for so long, I've struggled with it. And I'm finally starting to find my voice again. I'm finding my voice again, and it's fucking beautiful. It makes me so happy that I can find my voice again. It was stolen by the people in my life. But those same people recognize their mistake and have pushed me toward it once again. To those people, I thank you. Thank you for recognizing your mistake and making it right. Thank you. So many times as kids, and a lot of the shit that I'm talking about does intertwine with childhood trauma. So many times we're told we're wrong when we do shit out of the normal, out of the norm, out of the fucking norm of society. We're told we're wrong, and we're told we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to do something else. And we're supposed to provide and not just provide, but be something that we're not. Just because the norm is that. The norm is I'm shaking right now, by the way. It's emotion. It's raw emotion that I'm talking. And I know I can't sit here and talk about everything in the universe. As much as I'd love to, I can't. Not alone, anyway. I need a partner to podcast with. I need someone who can. I need someone to juxtapose me, you know? I need someone that. Someone to bring me back to reality when I start to go off my fucking tangents. Raw emotion is what you're witnessing right now, by the way, if you're watching. Schizoaffective disorder is what I got. I don't want that shit to define me. I don't. Everyone has mental health issues. Because we love to take that shit and we fucking shoulder it on our back. And we're strong enough to get by and overcome that, right? But we need people to push us to that. To the point to where we can find satisfaction and content with life itself. So many times we miss the moment because our mind works to tomorrow, and we're so programmed to think about the future when really the only thing that matters is the now. Is you and me, you sitting down and watching this, and me sitting down and doing this. This moment matters. It means something to us. So what? We won't remember it in 5-10 years. Live in the now. Live in the moment. When I went to this, when I went to my mental health, mental health hospital, and I was stuck there for a couple of weeks. One of the things that I feel like they really, really helped with was the fact that they said, just be, man. Just be. Just live in the moment. You don't have to do 10 things at once. Take it step by step and enjoy it. Because there is no easy answer. There is no easy way out of this life shit. It's hard, and we have to fight, and we got to put the dukes up, and we got to learn how to fight. Not just learn how to fight, we got to learn how to maintain and survive. I'm at that age where I'm realizing I have so much time on my hands that I could be doing something else with. Connecting with people, the people that I love, I have love for. So many times pride and ego don't let us connect with the people that we want to connect with. But in all actuality, these people are the ones who we love, who we have love for, and we want to see better. We want, if you don't want your fucking friends and your family and the people who are around you to succeed, you have to look yourself in the mirror. You have to take a hard look at yourself in the mirror and ask, what can I do different? One of the song quotes, it came from Ransom. By the way, I talked about music a little bit in my other podcast, my other attempt at this. I talked about Ransom, and I talked about his ability to talk about shit and just make it universal truths. One of the quotes that he said, and I don't remember the song, he said that if you look at yourself in the mirror and nothing changes, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Stop thinking that it's other people that are fucking up and fucking you over. If everyone in your life is leaving, if everyone in your life is fleeting, if everyone in your life turns away from you, it's probably you, dickhead. Hey, I'm talking from experience here. I have been a person who neglects help from those around me just because of their stupid male ego. It's this stupid little, it's such a stupid idea, ego. It's such a stupid thing that we carry ourselves with. Why do we glorify independence in this country? The idea that I'm a self-made millionaire, that's an idea that so many people want to follow, and it's just not viable, you know, for everyone. Some people have had steps, and some people have had shortcuts. Some people have had support. Some people don't have support. Some people don't have a family they can lay back on, you know. We're so worried about the things that might hurt us, we don't look to the things that might heal us. We're so worried about bullshit, dog. I love psychology, philosophy, and philosophy. These are things that I love. I love the law. I love music. I love football. Watching football. Yes, I know I've been talking about distractions a lot, but that doesn't mean to steer away the things that give you joy. Like, sit down hard, look yourself in the mirror and say, what are the things that I love doing? I can sit here and start a podcast about the shit that I love talking about. Talking is one of those things that I love. Arguing is one of those things that I love. I absolutely love arguments. I will take a side in an argument that isn't my side, and I will argue it just for the sake of conversation. That's who I am. You need to find out and figure out who the fuck you are. I'm here, dog, and I'm here to stay. This podcast is here to stay. It's going to be uploaded every single week. I'm not going to miss a heartbeat. I'm not going to miss days no more. I'm not going to make excuses to why I can't do this. I can do this. We're all a little fucked up. And sometimes we need a shoulder to cry on. And I am always that shoulder. I'm always there for people. Even if we don't know each other all that well. Dog, I'm here for you. And some sex noises are playing in the background right now because I was listening to Mac Miller. Mac Miller, why the fuck do you just decide to put sex noises in the end of songs? Rest in peace, Mac Miller. I've been talking for a while here. And I'm always a strong friend. I will always be that strong friend. I will always be that person that y'all need to cry on. Or if y'all need to vent. Or if y'all need to explain and tell your goals. I am here to support. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to provide. And don't get criticism mixed up with negativity. Criticism is different from negativity tenfold. Criticism is to enhance your idea, maybe make it better, or tweak it where it needs work, because ideas are rough. Ideas are rough drafts of what we want to do in the future. And what the thing that we so often miss is that time changes a lot of that shit. Time changes views and beliefs, and even the ideas, they tweaks it, and it's good to get human feedback from it, you know? It's okay for me, one of the things that I realized when I was doing my podcast is I didn't tell people enough that I had a podcast. I wouldn't talk about it that much just because I was embarrassed of the fact that they would see me, in a light that I didn't like to see myself in, something like that. Truth is my religion. Truth is my belief. I just took that from the song. It's Smino, by the way. To Pimp a Butterfly. I love music. Absolutely love it. I adore it. Just because I feel like music talks to me in a way. The music that I listen to anyway. I feel like it talks to me, and it brings out a side of me that I don't allow people to see, but I'm now realizing that I need people to see the side of me, people need to see the fact that I put on some music and I just fucking dance, People need to see that I can rap all the words to fucking songs. Fucking Problems by Lil Wayne. People need to see it. Just because it'll provide an environment that of the people that I want to attract, We make problems out of the simplest, littlest shit ever. And they seem so grandiose and so stupid in the moment. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast, episode number 1. I think I'm gonna end it right here. Next week I'll find topics to talk about, the news that I feel like is important, and if not, I'll just fucking reiterate this shit 1,000 times over and over. Because sadly, a problem like this, it doesn't go away with one podcast. It doesn't go away with people hearing this and it doesn't just vanish. I suck at endings, by the way. Thank you guys for listening. Especially if you listen this far in. I also wanted to talk about football a little bit too, by the way, when I was talking about the thing. I love football. So Doug Peterson has decided to bench Carson Wentz, which means that this is a blessing in disguise. Me as a Wentz hater, a Wentz lover. This either means A, Doug Peterson next season is not going to be there, or he will have an offensive coordinator to run shit, or B, Carson Wentz will get traded. Both outcomes, I think, are completely fine with me. Why do I say this? I say this because fucking Carson Wentz has suffered not only the most offensive line changes in the NFL, meaning that there's been most offensive line combinations throughout the league because of fucking injuries and other shit. But, I feel like his talent is being wasted at Philadelphia. Just because Doug Peterson's play calling is shit. It's always been shit. You can look back at the years that, all the couple years since Frank Reich has left, the 3 years, really, the shit that Doug Peterson excels in is simple shit. He excels in RPOs and shit like that. And that's why I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a really, really good game. But Carson Wentz isn't that. He's not a person who I think Carson Wentz would thrive in a Bruce Arians type environment, because Bruce Arians' offense runs more deeply. They want to take shots down the field. Carson Wentz's game plan, or Doug Peterson's game plan, doesn't really allow for Carson Wentz to do that. But it's neither here nor there. Big changes are coming in Philadelphia, and that is something I'm happy about. Other than that, I think I'll leave you guys off. Yeah, I'll be here next week. That much I can fucking promise you. Take us out. Take us out,
but I'm
Childish.
laughing. Whatever happens, assassins are stabbed in the back of my cabin, labbing or yapping. I'm glad that it happened. I mean it. Between us, I think there's something special. And if I lose my mental, just hold my hand, even if you don't understand.
I'll
Hold
see you
up.
guys next week. I promise
No matter
that.
what you say, what you do, when I'm alone, I'd rather be with you. Fuck these other niggas, I be